Very good morning, students. For this lecturing video session, I am going to teach you the chapter resolution of forces from unit 1. Resolution of forces. Fine. Okay. Before getting into the details, let me just cite an example for your better understanding. Assume a river or canal. It's from the top view. Okay. So from the top view, it's a canal or a river where one boat is moving. One boat is moving. It's a motorized boat. Assume it's a motorized boat which is traveling in the positive x-axis, which is traveling or moving in the positive x-axis. So all of a sudden, what happened was the motor got stuck. That means the engine switched off. Right. So now this boat was not able to move in the river in the positive x-axis. Right. So, but he has to reach the person who sits in the boat has to reach the destination somewhere here. So, destination is somewhere here, which is close to 300 meter or 500 meter away from this location. Right. And the person has two ropes. Person has two ropes and his friends are standing in the sides of the canal or the river. What he did was he has thrown a rope to his friend A, right? And the other rope he has thrown to the next friend who is in the other side, right? Now he has to reach the destination, right? Now this friend A and B started pulling it in this direction. They have started pulling in their directions. What will happen? In which side the boat will start moving? Look at here. When they pull it, this boat tries to move in the positive x direction. Right. So, what I am trying to say is, though the rope is being pulled in different direction, due to the resultant force, this boat moves in a positive x direction and reach the destination. What about this A and B then? These are the components. These are the components. And what about the force here? That is the resultant force. That is the resultant force. So, with this help only, I am just going to teach you the resolution of forces. So, what do you mean by resolution of force? So, resolution of force means finding the components of the given force in two given directions. In other words, splitting up the force into two components along the fixed reference axis, that is x and y. Got it? Right. Now I am going to draw a diagram where I am going to consider the inclined force. Right. Where I am going to draw the inclined forces. Considering this inclined force as F1 and the angle with the horizontal taken as theta 1, and the second quadrant of force which is acting at an angle of theta 2, and the force is F2. In quadrant 3, a force is acting a magnitude of F3 with an inclination with horizontal as theta 3. And in quadrant 4, a force is acting which is of magnitude F4 and the angle with horizontal as theta 4. Right. Now, it is required to find the components of the force of F1, F2, F3, F4 along X and Y axis. So that's the reason I cited an example. So you just follow this, you will understand what I just meant it. That is, you just correlate with these two. I just explain. So because if an inclined force is there, you don't know what will be the forces which would be acting. What I am going to consider is, I am going to split up the force into two components. That is why I specified is going to consider two components. One is in the horizontal component, the other one is the vertical component. Right. So as far as the horizontal component is concerned, for the inclined force, I consider as cos theta, and for the vertical one, I will consider that as sin theta. Right. So the resolution force diagram can be, the resolution of force diagram can be the same thing I am just going to mention here. Instead of this inclined force, I am going to consider into two components. One as the vertical component, the other one as the horizontal component. Right. Now, the horizontal component for the F1 as F1 cos theta 1. So, for the horizontal component, consider cos theta. And for the vertical one, the magnitude of F1 as sin theta. Look at the arrow where the force acts, whether it is towards to the point or away from the point. So accordingly, the sign changes here, right? Since it is away from the point, so therefore I have mentioned the upward and the horizontal position here. Next, let's move to the second quadrant where the force of magnitude F is acting with an inclination of theta 2 and which is acting away from here. So for the horizontal component, I can take that as F2 cos theta 2. F2 cos theta 2. For the vertical component, I can consider as F2 sin theta 2. Let me just consider the third force, which is F3 with an inclination of theta 3 with horizontal. Let me just consider that as sine. This vertical component always consider as a sine component, right? So F3 sin theta 3. And for the horizontal component, F3 cos theta 3. Got it? Now let me just consider the force F4, which has magnitude of F4 and the angle with horizontal as theta 4. Horizontal is nothing but this is the XY line. This is the X line. That is a horizontal. So with horizontal only I am just going to consider. So which has F4 cos theta 4 for the horizontal component. Then what about the vertical component? Vertical component can be F4 sin theta 4. So for the inclined force, we need to consider in the two components. That is why the definition itself says splitting up a force into two components along the fixed reference axis, which is X and Y. In other words, resolution of force means finding the component of a given force in two given directions. Which are the directions? One is the horizontal direction, the other one is the vertical direction. Right. So now theta 1 is the inclination for force F1, theta 2 is the inclination for F2, theta 3 is the inclination for F3, and theta 4, the inclination is theta 4. This should be with horizontal. The inclination should be always with horizontal. Horizontal is nothing but this X line. Got it? Right. Let me just wipe up this one. From that drawing, I just going to proceed. Right. Now, before that, let me just give the sign convention. sign convention. For the vertical component upwards, vertical component upward can be mentioned as positive, right? Positive. And for the vertical component downward consider as negative, and for the horizontal component horizontal component is not vertical, right? It's a horizontal towards right. Towards right as considered as positive, and the fourth one, the horizontal component towards left. Horizontal component towards left is considered as negative. Once you are clear in this only, you would be in a position to resolve all the forces for horizontal as well as the vertical components. So for the vertical component upward direction shows positive sign. The vertical component downward shows negative sign, and the horizontal component towards right shows positive, and horizontal component towards left shows the negative sign. Right. Now what I am going to do is, I am going to resolve the forces, that is the algebraic sum of all horizontal forces and algebraic sum of all vertical forces. Right. First I am going to resolving all the horizontal components. Which is nothing but the summation of horizontal forces. In other words, algebraic sum of the horizontal components. Components in the sense, these forces which is acting horizontally, whether it is in the positive direction or in the negative direction. So, if I just put a sketch here, so xy direction, this is x-axis, this is y, this is also y, this is x. This is positive x direction and this is positive x direction. When the force acts here, this is negative y and this side is a negative x. Just memorize this or remember this. This will the main area where you would be going to solve the problems based on this sign indication. So this area is a positive x direction, here positive y direction, negative x direction, negative y direction. Got it? So now I am going to resolve the forces here. Resolve the forces for the horizontal components. That is the sum of all the horizontal forces or horizontal components. So sum of horizontal forces, that is summation of all the horizontal forces, equal to look at here where it shows the sign which is towards right. This arrow indicates towards right, therefore it carries positive direction. So F1 cos theta 1. I have completed this one. Let me just move to the second quadrant. Where is there any horizontal force or horizontal component? Yes, it is there. But look at this arrow. This arrow shows the horizontal component towards left shows negative sign. So you will have to put minus F2 cos theta 2. Second quadrant over. Let me just move to the third quadrant where, look at here, this arrow, it is left. This horizontal arrow shows the negative sign. So minus F3 cos theta 3. So I have finished I have taken the forces, the horizontal forces for quadrant 3. Let me just move to the fourth quadrant where one force which is acting in the horizontally, that is the horizontal component, but this arrow indicates there is a sign convention of positive direction. Look at, this is a positive direction. So, which means plus F4 cos theta 4, equation 1. Right. I have resolved all the horizontal components, that is horizontal forces or horizontal forces. This one I have considered. Now I am going to consider resolving the vertical components now. Going to resolving all the vertical components, which is nothing but the algebraic sum of all the vertical components or the summation of the vertical components, which can be denoted as summation of V. V is nothing but vertical component. Here is a horizontal component. This is summation of horizontal components or horizontal forces. Here summation of all vertical forces. Let me just go from one quadrant to the other. First quadrant, look at here. One force which is acting vertically upwards. What upwards? The sign shows, the sign convention is positive, therefore this one should be positive, that is F1 sin theta. Let me just move to the second quadrant where a force which is acting vertically upwards, the sign shows positive. So which means plus F2 sin theta 2. Sin theta 2. Is there any other vertical components in the quadrant 2? No. Let me just move to the quadrant 3 where a force is acting vertically downwards. What downward sign shows? It shows negative. So minus F3 sin theta 3. F3 sin theta 3. So is there any force in the third quadrant? No. Let me just move to the fourth quadrant where I have a force which is acting vertically downwards. What it shows? If it is a vertical component which is acting downwards, the sign convention should be negative. So this will carry negative sign minus F4 sin theta 4. F4 sin theta 4. I have resolved the vertical as well as the horizontal components here. So what is next? Now I need to find the resultant. What do you mean the resultant? It's the sum of all forces. Right. So the resultant, magnitude of resultant could be, magnitude of resultant formula is square root of summation of h square plus summation of v square. Got it? Summation of h square plus summation of v square. Next, so from here you can find the values. Right? From here you can find the values. So next the direction of resultant. Next the direction of resultant. Direction of resultant. Resultant. You all know that the resultant will be in the diagonal of two components, that is vertical and the horizontal components. For an example, let me just take this example for this one in the positive direction. So this is nothing but summation of h value, that is a sum of all horizontal components. Let me assume in the positive x direction, and summation v, that is sum of vertical forces, let me just assume is in the positive y direction. Then where the resultant will act, as I told you, if you remember the board diagram I have shown, though the forces acting in the inclined, that is in the right side as well as the left side, the resultant will pass through the diagonal of that point, isn't it? So definitely the resultant will pass through these two forces. This is nothing but the resultant. And what about the direction or the inclination of the resultant? This is the with horizontal always, with the positive, either it could be positive or in the negative, where the value comes, if it is in negative, then it will come on the negative side. This is assumed. I have assumed that this is acting in this summation h value is in positive and summation v value is in positive. Therefore, the resultant will act between the positive x axis and positive y axis. This is the magnitude, that is the direction of resultant alpha. This is alpha. Right? So, which is nothing but, if you just look at it, if you just form a triangle here, this is alpha. Right? That can be written as, let me just mention here, tan alpha. Tan alpha. Look at here. This is alpha. What is in the opposite side? Which is summation v. Summation v. Opposite side by adjacent. Right? Divided by, which one is in the adjacent side? Summation h. Summation h. Got it? Then what about alpha? Alpha is equal to tan inverse of summation v by summation h. Got it? So from this diagram, I arrived the direction of the resultant, which has been arrived from this diagram. Got it? Right. So this is this is the resultant force, which is R is equal to square root of summation h square plus summation v square. And as far as the direction of resultant is, alpha is equal to tan inverse of summation v by summation h. So where you will have to consider the xy components, that is the horizontal and vertical components. When the force is inclined, with horizontal, you need to consider vertical component as well as the horizontal components. Then you will have to resolve by considering all the horizontal forces in as summation h and resolve all the vertical forces as summation v. Fine. Suppose this I have solved for the inclined plane. Suppose the force doesn't have any inclination, that means which is acting in the 0 degree or in the 90 degree. I will just let you know what exactly need to be considered if there is no inclination. That is, inclination means 1 to 89 degree. That is inclination, right? Let me just give you some idea about for the forces. Note, if the force is acting vertically, assume this is a vertical force of magnitude f or f1 or whatever, right, or p, whatever the magnitude you can specify. This is making 90 degree with horizontal. If you consider two components, that is horizontal as well as the vertical component, suppose you want to consider vertical and horizontal component, how you will specify here? You will specify in this manner, this as f sin 90, right, and the next one as f cos 90, because the horizontal component you consider as cos. What about sin 90, which is 1? Sin 90 equal to 1. So the magnitude doesn't change, so it is f only. What about cos 90? Cos 90 is 0. So therefore there won't be any horizontal forces. If a vertical force has no horizontal component. So whatever the magnitude is there, that is the vertical force. Right? So suppose, like a second case, suppose the force is acting horizontally. Suppose the force is acting horizontally in this, that is with 0 degree. This is nothing but 0 degree of magnitude f, assume. Here, as far as the horizontal is concerned, let me just consider this as this diagram. Let me just, if I just draw the diagram in this manner, f cos 0 and f sin 0. If you just resolve the forces, f, that is cos 0 equal to 1, sin 0 equal to 0. So the a horizontal force has no vertical component. Got it? So, if the force is acting vertically, upwards or downwards, based on the sign, you will have to consider. The sign means this one. This is positive y, this is negative y. This is positive x direction and this is negative x direction. If the force is acting vertically upwards, it is a positive sign. If the force acting vertically downwards, then negative sign, you will have to consider it. Got it? So, for a vertical thing, you need to consider into two components. The vertical is sufficient because cos 90 is equal to 0. Right. Next, the force is acting horizontally, then you need not to consider the vertical force because sin 0 is 0, cos 0 is 1. So, a vertical force has no, the horizontal force has no vertical component. Right. So, you have to remember this while just solving the problem. So, you have to remember a couple of things here. First, you will have to solve all the horizontal components, that is sum of all the horizontal components. Next, you will have to resolve all the vertical components, that is sum of or the algebraic summation of vertical components. The resultant formula is root of summation h square plus summation b square. Summation h is sum of all horizontal components. Summation b is nothing but sum of all vertical components. From here, you will get the value in terms, some values in Newton or kilonewton. The unit of resultant should be either in Newton or kilonewton. What about the alpha? Alpha is the direction of resultant or inclination of the resultant, which would be in terms of degree, in terms of degree. Always the inclination or the angle should be specified as degree. So, hope you have all understood the concept of resolution of forces. In the upcoming videos, I will post the problem pertains to resolution of forces. Thank you.